Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Unbreakable Life with Glory. This is Gloria Goldberg, the founder and the creator of the podcast Unbreakable Life with Glory. And this is Gloria Goldberg, and this is my show. So, how everybody? Welcome to the Unbreakable Life with Glory today. I so happy that coming with a lot of guests moving forward. This is my second show after maybe months being stopping the version in English. And so right now it's like, I'm starting again. It's like, I don't know, like I don't know what to say because I just also changed the name of my show because my show before was the bilingual show, The Gloria. And now with my group, decide to change it to Unbreakable Life with Glory because that is the name of my podcast, and also it is relate too much with my story and my mission. So for the people that right now are starting to companion me in my path in my show, I want to tell you about who is Gloria Goldberg. Gloria Goldberg is a woman that have a lot of light inside and wanted to share with you all, and why I create this podcast, Unbreakable Life with Glory, because I've been on break many times, and life unbreak me, break me, unbreak me, and break me, and I still here. And the creation of this podcast, it's a behind story that happens 25 years ago. I was kidnapped and held in captivity when I was 25 years old. And I was held in captivity for 90 days in the dark. And I experiment depression, anxiety, and PTSD. And that is exactly what I do. I talk about depression, anxiety, PTSD for you to feel better. And I discovered that my mission was to talk about these subjects. And because I suffer from them sometimes in my past, not anymore, because I kind of feel that depression is not anymore in my life. Anxiety, sometimes it depends on situations. And PTSD, yes, I do have PTSD. It's because after this trauma of the kidnap situation that I had, but I deal with it. I know how it is. I feel it, and I see them as a gift from God or from the universe that give me the opportunity to feel all these negative emotions or low vibration emotions. I would say better low vibration emotions, for me to be able to be in the dark and for me to be able to see the light, because I experiment both the physical darkness and the spiritual darkness, and everything it was for me. It was in the day before was very dark, and also I couldn't see the light for many years. And also after I got released, I also continue auto kidnapping myself with a lot of fears, with a lot of anxiety, with a lot of bad moments in my life. So for me, it took me almost 19 years to get out from that auto kidnap that I just feel like, yes, I was free, but I was not completely free. And why I'm talking about this, because the show that we have today is very special, and it's because something for me is very important. We're gonna talk about simple life, decluttering. And why I'm talking about that, because I'm a minimalist. I started being a minimalist 2 years and a half. And why I became a minimalist, because it helps me with my anxiety. It helps me with my emotional trauma that I have. And I started discovering myself that I was buying and compulsing buying. I was buying for anything, for any reason I was buying. And I discovered one day that el minimalist probably will be better for me. And also the minimalist lifestyle include decluttering. Decluttering. It's very hard for me to pronounce that. So, and And when you walk in the path, you start finding the people, the right people for you to teach you, to guide you to how to declare your space, your life. And walking that path, I found Estelle Poirer. She is a coach that dedicate her life to help people to declare her life and declare her physical space. And also she is a coach that helps people to relieve the emotions through the declaring. So her podcast also that is coming soon, and also her coaching system, as the name is, intentional self consulting. And let's give him the welcome to Unbreakable Life with Glory, so she can teach us about more about declaring and how it's so important to declare our space. And even when you declare out your space, you're declaring your mind. So let's welcome to Unbreakable Life with Glory, Estelle Poirier.
Bonjour,
Hello!
bonjour, bonjour, bonjour.
Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Very good, Estelle. Thank you so much to be on Unbreakable Life with Glory and today. And I want you to tell everybody where are our location. But let's start from you. Where is your location?
Well, if you must know, I live in an igloo in very snowy in very snowy Quebec City. It's spring here, so hopefully that the snow is going to melt a little bit. There's some hope. It's happening. So I live in Quebec City, Canada, and my name is Estelle. Mon nom est Estelle. Bonjour, everybody.
Bonjour. And what time is right now in Canada?
It is 3:07 p.m. Eastern Time.
Oh, we have the same time. You know what? I love Canada because I know English because I live in Canada when I was 9 months to 7 years old. And you know, when you are a baby through 7 years old, you learn a lot and you use that later on. And when I came to this country, I didn't know, I knew I know English because I lived for 30 years in my country. It is Spanish. And I never used English after I came back from Canada to my country. And when I came to this country, I said, I know English, I know English. And I started practicing without very rough English. And I started, I said, I know. Thank you to Canada that I don't remember too much because I was a baby. But my first years from 9 months to 7 years old was in Canada. So thank you. I was in Ontario, and I think my mom also lived a little bit in Quebec, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
no way.
Yes.
Love this. It's awesome.
Yes. So my location right now, I'm in Florida, in Broward. It's 45 minutes up in Miami, in the suburbs, very close to Everglades. So here is 3:08, same time as Canada, Easter time. So Estelle, so let's start talking about our favorite, topic today is declutter.
Absolutely.
Why you start in the business, in the coaching business, talking about it with the decluttering? Why?
I guess that would be two things. I studied architecture years ago. So I did an architectural technology program. And I guess I was always interested by the environmental part, like how can we make architecture a bit more sustainable? What kind of materials can we use to make it more sustainable?
Right.
And I guess that it wasn't very popular at that time, and my teacher was a bit annoyed with me. When I finished my education, I worked a little bit in offices, but I wasn't really kind of connecting too much. I wasn't too interested. I found that kind of boring. So I guess my atypical background started from there. I worked in all kinds of fields, hospitality and tourism and restaurants. And I drove buses up north in the least sustainable part of Canada, which is Fort McMurray and Fort Nelson, the oil patch, basically. And the environmental was, the environmental thing was becoming a bit more of interest to me more and more. So I studied, I did 2 certificates online at UC Davis Extension in California. And then later on, I did an accompanying person program to learn how to basically accompany myself. So from there, how can I leave the earth a better place than I found it? And how can I accompany myself so that I'm happier in my life? So I guess I took both and I combined them. And that became, how can I leave the earth a better place than I found it, is in relation with clutter. So clutter is an environmental problem, but it's also an emotional problem. So how can I make my contribution? How can I reduce my impact on planet Earth? Is by actually starting to change myself internally, to declutter myself internally, so that I can accompany myself externally. So that would be my quickest, my long quickest explanation.
Right. So why you said that's so important to declutter? Because our reflection of us is outside. How we are inside, we reflect outside. So when you have a lot of clutter around, it's because internally you going through emotional problems.
Absolutely, 100%. I'll give you an example.
Yes,
Let's say
please.
you say, okay, this weekend I'm going to clean my house, I'm going to declutter everything, I'm going to get rid of a whole bunch of things. Most people would say, oh, I'm going to feel this is going to change my life. This is going to be awesome. My life is going to be better from now on. I feel like saying that because there's an emotional work, there's an internal work as well. What are you learning emotionally from that? That is extremely important. My question, why is it in the first place that you have collected all these things? Why do we collect all these things over the years? Because we are born, we are brought into this world with nothing, and we leave the earth with
With
nothing.
nothing.
In between what happens, we're living and we're collecting all kinds of stupid crap that we don't need. And we're collecting all this crap because we're collecting all kinds of crap internally. So if I have somebody that comes to me and say, "Hey, I want to clean my house and this and that," I'm like, "Okay, cool. That's really awesome. Can you tell me what's happening in your life? Or maybe let's go back 5 years ago, or maybe 30 years ago." So that's very important. And one emotional work, one internal work needs to be done at the same time as, the external work of cleaning our house, of decluttering our house. So it's critical to do both.
Totally, totally. And in my experience, I need to do that because I have compulsive buying. I was buying for any reason, because I was mad, because I was happy, because my mother was coming, because the dog, because the cat, because anything, any reason. And I find out that every time I buy a piece, yes, I love clothing. So I buy a dress. That's one of my favorite things to do, to buy the dresses. I buy a dress, and then later on, the next time I want to put it on, I didn't like it anymore. And I said, "Oh, what is this? Why did I buy this? What was the reason for me to buy this?" And then I start seeing that I was spending a lot of money in dresses. And also, I'm a person that I don't like to resell my stuff. I like to give it away. And I was giving away also a lot of dresses and a lot of money too. And yes, the universe told you that when you give, everything's come back. But what it was the reason? I was doing that unconscious. And unconscious, like, okay, I'm buying, throwing, I'm buying, throwing. And I was like every day unhappy until one day I saw the minimalist approach. And also when I just find you that you talked to me about the decluttering, and I got into like a bug, like a virus. Oh, I need to declutter. And I start like crazy decluttering everything. And I remember every time I go through my clothes, I know exactly each piece, when I buy it, how I buy it, and how I was. If people don't believe that you recollect emotions in everything, in every item that you buy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I could ask your audience right now who's watching, or maybe they will watch the replay. When you look at your closet, when you open your closet, or when you open a door to a room in your um, living environment, do you have that feeling of old ideas and old patterns and sadness and frustration? Because that's what it represents.
Yes,
and
of
and
course.
and, and how liberating is that, and good for you, for knowing exactly all the things, all the pieces of clothing and all the stuff in your house now that you own. How liberating is that? How
Completely.
liberating.
Completely. When I reduce, I give away 300 pieces of clothing, and I was with a little bit, and I look, and you probably would think, I would say, oh, I'm going to miss them. No, because I didn't buy those clothes with love. I didn't buy those clothes in a very happy moment that I said, yes, I'm super happy. I'm going to buy this dress. It looks beautiful. I love this dress. I love the color, and wear multiple times. Because that's when you love a piece of clothing, you should wear, normally you should wear, or often, because you like it so much. In my mind, it was not like that. In my mind was, I wear it one time, I'm not gonna wear a second time because I don't like the way it looks. I like the feeling of new. I like the feeling of new, and then I'm just toss it because I don't want it anymore. And it sounds freaking crazy shit just to think about that, and how much money I put in the freaking garbage doing that. But I was unconscious what I was doing until I just said, you know what? I need to stop this. Something is wrong here. And definitely was because I was very unhappy. And now I have very little clothes compare what I have before. I'm super happy because I already know exactly what I like. And I got into the ship. Like, I don't care if you see me with the same clothes. I don't care if you see me with the same dress. Before I was more, oh no, already see me. I'm not going to take this picture because I already see me with this shirt. I'm not going to take this picture because they already see me with this. No, now I wear the same and over. And now that I have everything packed, I have like 4 t-shirts and three pants and 2 pair of tennis shoes, because I have everything packed already for 3 months. So right there, I'm also getting more into like liberation,
Absolutely. And it's
completely
very
liberation.
definitely. And you're bringing a great point here, because you just said that when you went on your trip, to Costa Rica, you took all the things you really wanted to bring with you and you put them in a suitcase, which means you contained everything. Everything is now in like a container, so to speak, right? And
Right.
that's very important, because you decide what that container will look like. And people would say, okay, whatever, but I did that with my closet, right? I contained, let's say, all my hair products and body products in one small basket, contained in one small basket. So if it doesn't fit in the basket, it's got to go, and only that small basket will be required and admitted in my closet. The same with my facial products. And it's really interesting how when you take all these things, all these stuff, and then you go and can put them in a container, in a suitcase or whatever, a basket, you now realize, wow, maybe I have just enough, or maybe I have too much. And that's what I kind of realized in my closet. I had like three facial mist. I'm like, what the hell? I don't need three facial mist. What's wrong with me? But the three facial mist, they fit in my basket. But the thing is, my basket, my container, your suitcase does not need to be filled in order to be of value to you. So I thought, okay, that small basket only will be okay for my facial products. And I'm committing 100% to not buy more, because I want to make sure that everything fits in that container. That might seem a little extreme for certain people, and that's perfectly fine. But that's a wonderful way of really identifying all the stupid shit that we have, right? The thing that
Right.
we want to keep that is of value to us. Because in our throwaway society, it's so easy to just buy anything and just to throw it out afterwards. So when we contain things, it's easier to identify what is of value to me. And when you're doing that, it's also emotional, right? Wow,
Yes.
I'm so proud of myself because
Yes.
I am happy. I have decided by myself, for myself, that what is in that suitcase, in that container, that basket, what the hell is what is of value to me. So it's very liberating. So good
Es-
for you. And that must have been a great experience for you to say, well, what is in that suitcase is going to be what I'm going to be carrying around, and that's going to be just fine. How did you feel, throughout your trip with
and
just that suitcase,
yes.
or two suitcase,
No,
whatever?
I went heavy. Like this was a big mistake I did because it was the first time I was going to Costa Rica, and I was gonna stay for 3 months, and part I was gonna stay longer. But and I packed in that mind that I'm gonna take what I love the most, and I packed a lot. I went with like 4 suitcases for 3 months, a lot. And when I was in Costa Rica to come back, I said, I'm going back with two. So what I did, I gave all my clothes away again, again and again. In Costa Rica, I gave it to everybody who needed, and I give all my clothes away, and I came back with two. So now when I came here and start with a new, a new chapter, because I came here from Costa Rica, I came here, I encountered another situation in my life, and then I started again decluttering more, because I felt it that I was going away. I was gonna depart pretty soon from this place that I am now. And of course, it's exactly what I'm doing after 6 months. I'm moving to another place. And I know when I go to the new place and I open everything that is packed, it probably a lot of things are gonna go away, because the process of healing continue, because probably there's some clothes there that I gonna remember my life in this place, and in the life that I just finishing, like turning around my life, because right now I'm going through divorce. So when you go into divorce, they say when you divorce, the very next thing that you do is you change your outfit. You save a little bit of money and you change completely your outfit, because you don't want to bring that energy from the past relationship to the new chapter. So probably I'm gonna do that, like a whole completely renovation. So, but I'm gonna be very conscious of doing it, because it's not going. I'm not gonna buy like before, like buying, because right now, if I'm gonna buy one thing, have to be something very special, and it's gonna last me for a long time. And conscious who make that piece of clothing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you see, the on the environmental side of clutter, Can you imagine all the waste that is created every single day?
Yes.
Imagine if people were becoming like you and being more conscious buyers, to have a lot more conscious consumption habits. Imagine how much, if we loved our stuff. There's nothing wrong with loving stuff. It's okay to love stuff.
And
Just
it's
like,
okay to have stuff too.
yes, absolutely. And especially stuff that is adding value to your life so that you can add value to other people afterwards. It's like you give yourself a gift, and then, okay, I'm going to use that value, and I'm going to give, I'm going to give to other people. And okay, where was I going with that? Yes. So yeah, can you imagine how our throwaway society is just, oh, I can buy this, and then if I don't like it, I can just, it's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
Absolutely disgusting.
It's
We should be
disgusting.
ashamed of ourselves. And
Yes.
how much stuff do we really need? That's what I was asking somebody the other day. I had a client, and I said, imagine you're in your car and you're driving back to your home, and then your house is on fire. What do you do? I mean, even if the firefighters are at your house, there's nothing to do. The house is on fire. It's over. So, what are you going to replace when you're going to be moving out? So, think about the things, the stuff, the useful stuff, and the useless stuff that you purchased over the years that you've been there, and that you carry, from other places, because we hold on to the things all the time, right? Just like we hold
Right.
on to experiences that are not good for us, just like we hold on to people that are not good for us. We hold on to the stuff that are not good for us. We hold on to sadness and frustrations. We keep them inside
And they
instead of
have
expressing them. That's
and they,
clutter.
exactly, and they have to go in, they have to come out. They are inside, but also they have to come out.
They
And how
have
they
to
come
come out.
out, they reflect in different ways. Like for example, in my case, in your case, like that happens to you before, in
Yes.
composing buying,
Yes.
buying and buying.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the way that we reflect it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a big cause of suffering nowadays. Big cause, because we hold on. We hold on to things.
And also, we like to
Of
show
course.
to people the things that probably we don't have. We just have there, but we don't have. We are probably up to here with a lot of debts and with the credit cards up to here because I
Yes,
want to show everybody what I don't have.
exactly. Because I want to be liked. I want to be accepted. I want to be appreciated. So that's what I was telling my client. I said, you look at your house that is burning, and there's absolutely nothing you can do. So what would you replace? What are the things that you're thinking, oh yeah, this thing I really love, and I would buy it again in my new place, because it's only stuff, right?
Right.
And if you pay $200, if it burns, it burns. That's it. It's over. But are you going to replace that? Would you replace that or not? And there were very little things that she would have replaced. The rest was optional, kind of thing,
Of
was
course.
useless.
Useless.
The other portion, you've got very useful things that are of value. There are things that are complete crap that you don't need. You would never buy it again.
Mm-mm.
And then you've got stuff that are like confidential papers and things like that, that in the first place should be kept aside, should be protected. in case of a fire, for example. We don't want to
Right.
think about that, but it's something that could happen.
Yeah, of course. So let me ask you another question. So, what is the mostly people that contact you? What they are exactly they looking for when they come to you?
They are in debts or close to being in debts, but mostly in debts.
Wow.
They feel very anxious, very unfulfilled, very sad, very frustrated in their lives. Their relationships are not really good. Everything's connected, right?
Yes.
They buy too much crap. Their relationship is not good because their relationship with other people or with their partner, their spouse, their um, the people in their lives. They just surround themselves with people that are not on the same frequency as them.
And when you don't have a good relationship with people, you don't have a good relationship with the money, you don't have good relationship with anything.
Exactly. And
Period.
exactly, you don't have a good relationship with yourself. And so it's to reconnect the relationship with themselves so that the external can reflect their relationship with themselves. Exactly. And this year, actually, my goal is to is also to bring clutter-free living, because that's my concept of clutter-free living is to bring that to companies.
Yes.
So not only for individuals, but individuals in companies as well. How do we adapt in those in all this uncertainty, especially in the last 2 years? There has been so much uncertainty. It's affecting the individuals, but it's also affecting the companies. So so yeah, it's everything's connected.
Wow. So when you say that you want to try to bring this concept to the companies, the concept is in the company for the people in the company, or for the owner to be educated to help the people, the company to help the people in the company.
Both, definitely. Doing presentation, that's my goal, to do presentations in companies to talk about clutter free living, but way more than just, oh yeah, declutter, get rid of stupid things, things that you don't need, declutter your desk. It goes really beyond that.
Yes.
It's really declutter yourself so that you can be more receptive to your coworkers. You can improve your relationship with yourself, but with your boss, with your colleagues, with everyone.
You know what? You give me an idea also that I remember my days that I work for people, because I have a long time I don't work for anybody because I'm an entrepreneur. And I remember that when you're working, you always have things to do, and you cannot do it because you have more things to do and more things new to do. And then the old thing that you need to do is behind already a month. And then another new thing is coming. So right now that stuff is 2 months behind. And of course, there are things that they have more priority than other ones. But they should create, because that, I remember that, like today, that created me a lot of anxiety. Just to think that I have something to do that I cannot be able to do because I'm overwhelmed with the work that they putting me in front of me. And every time my boss asked me for the shit that it was behind, I was like, well, yes, I know it's behind, but you want this right now. So they should create like maybe one day or one Saturday or one day that they like give like to each person to get like on time with everything, like get everything like is behind, to be able to fix it, to do it, and keep going, because it feels like a big heavy rock when you have something pending to do, and if you cannot fulfill to do that, it's so annoying. And I know a lot of people get frustrated for that, because go home and they said, oh my god, I didn't finish this today, and I still have things to do. Now my boss is gonna tell me. That is a constantly thing going on in the people mind, and you go to work not very happy and stressful already since the morning because you know you have still have a lot of shit from behind to do.
Absolutely.
It's
Definitely.
terrible.
Definitely. Definitely. I went through that as well.
Me
And
too.
I went through that. And the thing is, there was the overload of work, and there was the toxic environment.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem because in today's world, and it's been like that for centuries, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of ego. So the concept that I'm bringing, the clutter-free living, there's an ego-free life. It's to put our ego behind, and it's to help one another. It's to find a way to help ourselves first and to help other people so that we can bring ourselves together and collaborate instead of being in a competition. And I guess in nowadays more than ever, we're going to be it's going to be necessary to leave our ego behind, and it's going to be necessary to collaborate and to be there for one another. It's going to be very important so that we can all move in the same direction and adapt to, uncertainty, which is present more than ever.
And I know that some companies cannot stop. But listen, if something happened, major happen, everybody needs to stop. So why, like, okay, let's do one day, like everybody catch up. So for the next day or the second day, people start like a kind of fresh. Because I remember this. I remember I worked for a year here in the United States in a bank. I was helping a loan officer, so I was her assistant, and she have a lot of work behind. And I remember like today that I feel it was my clutter. I feel it was my problem. And I go the very next day and I look the files and I said, oh my God, when this is gonna be done. And I remember the day I find another job that I resigned, I was so fucking happy. You know why? Because I said, oh my God, I don't need to go back to and think about those freaking files that I need to do. And I was so freaking happy. So imagine how many people right now that are working and feeling that sensation that they don't know, they want something to happen to that freaking files that they don't need to go back and see them.
Absolutely. What a relief, right?
Oh my God.
Really, what a relief.
God, shit, that's not mine anymore.
Absolutely. And there's so much freedom in making that decision
Yes.
for yourself, by yourself. Hey, this is not working for me. I'm going to
No.
stop doing this and I'm going to focus on something else. It's love and respect for yourself. It's wonderful. That's one of the first concept of when I completed my program as an accompanying person. It's love and respect for yourself in the first place.
Okay, so how people can start decluttering? Because for a lot of people, it's very hard to detach from stuff, like we said before. But if people don't have the coaching assistant, for example, how they can start decluttering, and in what way you recommend them to start? Because there's so many ways, and
Yes.
also they have to be in a responsible way. How do you recommend them to do that?
So the first thing I would suggest, I would recommend is to first have a true desire to make a change, to declutter, to get rid of stuff. And then it's to take the time. The second step is to take the time to create a vision. Once you have that desire that is sincere inside of you, it's to create a vision. And creating a vision does not necessarily mean it's going to take half an hour or 20 minutes. Mm-mm. It can take weeks. Take
Years.
the time, exactly. Take the time, give yourself the time to create a vision of how it is you want to feel and what kind of living environment do you want to live in. And then once you've created that vision, doesn't have to be perfect. It can be created, over time, right? When you start taking action, when you pull the trigger, that's when the magic happens. Then you start very small. It's to start very, very, very small. That's what I was telling a client earlier, recently. I said just start very small because it can be so easy to be overwhelmed. So just start very small. Take one closet and just create a vision. You create a vision of what you want that closet to look like. You remove everything, you clean everything, you focus on your vision again. Then you select the things you want to be back in the closet. Then you just organize, you tidy them. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can always make it different. You can always change things, move things around. Nothing is stuck in glue or cement, and it's fine. You can take a break, you move on to another section.
But I think when you do that for the very first time,
Yeah.
you feel so much, you feel so great about yourself that you want to continue. You
Yes,
really want to continue. Like it happens to me. I was like, oh my God, this is so freaking awesome. I'm going to
yeah.
start doing this. And I remember that weekend, I didn't stop.
Hmm.
Declaring, going things away, giving things away. And I have one room here that before I go, I need to declutter because I'm leaving this space and I want to leave this space and also in the right way because it's not about, oh, okay, I'm leaving all the shit behind and whatever comes, deal with it. No, because you have to be impeccable with everything you do in life. And for me to close a cycle, it needs to be closed in the right way and for open to a new one.
Absolutely. Definitely. Before you close the doors on something or a room, it needs to be organized and decluttered and clean, right?
Yes.
Once again, it's love and respect for yourself, but also for whoever is left behind, right?
Yes, of course. Definitely like that. I want you to tell everybody this story because you have a story that I like so much. You have two stories that I like so much. One is the story of the coffee machine. I love that story, believe it or not.
Oh my goodness, it was incredible because my mom needed a coffee machine. Her coffee machine had broke. So yeah, one day I was with my boyfriend at my apartment, and then I said, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go outside to, bring the recycling out." He says, "Okay, no problem." So I go outside, bring my recycling. Next thing I know, I find a coffee machine, which looks to me brand new, right? And the coffee machine is right there in front of the recycling bin, and it's written free, works really well. And I thought, you gotta be kidding me, right? Perfect timing. So I took the coffee machine and I told my boyfriend, I said, "Oh my goodness, look at that." He says, "Wow, it was meant to be." I said, "Yes." So I cleaned it, and everything. It was almost brand new. I was really surprised. And to this day, it still works.
It still works,
Yes. So, at one point, I brought it to my place and then I gave it back to my mom and then I bought myself a small one. So,
but it's still working.
yes, absolutely.
Okay, and the other story that I like is the story about when you buy a lot of clothes without different sizes. The shame, the story of the shame.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. For your audience, please listen to this. It's a very embarrassing story, but it is a true story. A few years ago, actually, I believe that was, thank you, Miguel.
Hey,
Uh,
Miguel from Portugal.
Yay!
Beso, beso. Becho, becho.
Obrigada. Um,
Obrigada.
yes. So yeah, I guess I was in a time in my life, and I'm sure that if you guys are watching, listening to this, you can probably identify to what I'm
Yes.
saying. There is a lot of us out there, I'm telling you. And I was very unhappy at work, very upset, very sad. And then I had a very difficult day at work, long day at work. I would usually work until 6 or 7 o'clock p.m. And after work, I thought, okay, obviously, instead of crying or be upset all by myself in my car and scream like a complete hysterical person,
Like a
what did
crazy
I
one, crazy one.
Okay.
Ah,
Okay, sorry about that.
it's okay.
I try to remove some dust and I just,
There you go.
okay, whoops. Hang on. Okay, I'll keep it like that. No, it doesn't work. Okay, no problem. I'll just hold on to it. Anyway, so I went to a store and I bought quite a few clothes, quite a few pieces of clothing that were obviously too small for me. They were nice, but they were too small for me. They were expensive, and I bought them anyways,
Just like that.
just like that.
What was the
And then,
reason?
oh, I was so sad, so upset, and I thought I wanted to reward myself. How many of you watching right now are doing that? You're rewarding yourself. You reward yourself because, oh, poor me, I had such a bad day at work, and oh, poor me, right?
I'm
Poor
gonna give
me.
I'm gonna give a gift to myself because poor me.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly, exactly. That's
Yes.
exactly that's
Yes.
exactly what happened. Stupid camera.
It's
Okay.
okay. You wanna put it you wanna try to put it in the right way?
That's all good. Yeah, I don't know. It just keep going in the wrong direction.
Too
Anyway,
much vibration here.
yeah, maybe I'll put it on my computer. Sorry about
Yeah,
that. This is
it's
just
okay.
typical. Okay, okay, I'll do it like that. Okay, that's better.
That's fine. That's fine.
Um, so I bought clothes that were too small for me, and then I thought, you know what? I'm feeling a little better. I've had such a bad day at work. Buy myself a I'm going to buy myself a very nice meal. And you know what? I'm so great. I'm going to buy myself a little can of alcohol with that, right? Just as a treat, as a gift for me because I'm so wonderful.
Wow.
And well, that did not really turn out so well because the clothes I had bought, I knew very well that they were not fitting me. So I wasn't very happy. I was kind of sad. I had not expressed anything. And I was pretty angry as well, because I was kind of on the verge of leaving that job. And the food that I bought, very delicious food, great Lebanese restaurant not too far from where I live. Um, but I never tasted the food because I was not in the
Swallowing
present
food.
moment.
Swallowing food.
Exactly. I was just swallowing. I was not even paying attention to what I was eating. It was really like binge eating kind of thing. And then I was kind of tired from my day at work. So the alcohol, after 2 drinks, I was completely drunk and I went to sleep. So bottom line, I cluttered my closet
Right?
with things that the tag stayed on,
Mm-hmm.
never removed the tag, never wore these clothes. They were obviously at some point they were decluttered. I gave them away, but that was a hell of a lesson, right?
Yes.
Definitely.
Wow. Definitely. So I want you to tell everybody about intentional self consulting and where they can find you. Intentional self consulting.
That's correct. So intentionalselfconsulting.com. That's my website. I welcome people to book a conversation with me. That's how I call it, a conversation. It's a 1 hour conversation. It's completely free. There's nothing where I'm going to be trying to sell you anything. It's a 1 hour conversation, completely free, and you can see how a consulting session is with me, because working with me is a time. It takes time, and it's
Right.
money engagement as well. So if we're a good fit and you're interested, we can work together. I'm not trying to pitch anybody on on those conversations. It's really a typical real time consulting session that I do. And I'm also on social media, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm clutterfree underscore Estelle on Instagram, and you can book right there a conversation with me. And yeah, if people are interested to explore how to declutter not only their external world but also their internal world, reorganize their internal world so they can be more intentional with their outside.
There you go. There's all the information right there. Facebook, Instagram, international selfconsulting.com. There's all the platforms where you can find her. And if you get like you don't know too much, you also can contact me in the private messenger and send me a message if you want to have a consultation with her. I also can help you to or guide you to find Estelle Poirier so you can have a consultation with her. Okay, Estelle, I think we got it today. So thank you so much to be in Unbreakable Life with Glory. It was a pleasure and it was an honor to have you today. And I know to declare our life is very important. And I hope the people who is watching and listen to us later on understand that the way we are inside, we reflect outside. And if you have a lot of clutter around you, start thinking like, what's going on with you? What is going on with you? And probably you can find the root. And if you cannot find the root, you contact Estelle Poirier and she can help you and accompany you to find your mission, your root, and to help you how to declare your space in your life.
Absolutely. Very well said. Thank you.
All right. So I'm going to put you in the green room. And I'm going to say goodbye to you, Estelle Poirier, and see you soon.
Absolutely.
All right. So,
Thank you.
right. Bye. Well, that was a wonderful, wonderful episode today. This is my second episode after I come back from a lot of time, from what do you say, a moment of a period of silence. I don't know what to use that word. So I'm coming back. As like I said, like the bilingual show, the Gloria, that's not anymore the name, but I will keep it repeating so you guys understand where it's coming from. But now it's Unbreakable Life with Glory, and I come next Wednesdays in English at 3 p.m. Eastern time, and every time I come with a guest, it's always to talk about depression or anxiety or PTSD to always make you feel better. And remember, my message to you, the way you are inside or the way you feel inside is the reflection of you outside. So you have too much declutter, you have too much clutter in your space, in your area of work and where you live in. It's because you having also a problem, emotional problem inside of you that you probably you are unconscious of what is happening, and that's the way for you to see. If you wake up in the morning and you see a lot of clutter around you, and you feel anxious, and you feel like you cannot move around, and you feel like, what's going on, what's this energy I have that I cannot move easily or freely, it's just because probably your mind, your health is telling you we need to declutter. And I recommend you to do that. I started decluttering my life already for 2 years and a half, and you have no idea how much money I save and how much conscious I am when I buy stuff, thinking in the planet, because this is not my only planet. This is the planet of all of us. And also, this planet needs to last for the future generations. And my only contribution I can do is to be conscious of what I do, because what I do is the reflection of the future too. And if I do stuff, if I do the right thing and be conscious, people around me start being conscious too, and helping the humanity and the planet at the same time together. I cannot do this mission alone. We all have to pitch in and help all together to start decluttering our lives, decluttering our space, to have a fulfilled life, and a life with freedom. And I'm a testimony for that. I'm going to the freedom of my life, and I'm so happy for it. And you have no idea, being a minimalist and decluttering a lot of stuff, also declutter my mind and my soul and my spirit. All right. So thank you so much. See you next Wednesday at 8 a.m. Eastern Time in Spanish, 3 p.m. Eastern Time in English, like the bilingual show. So thank you so much to be on Unbreakable Life with Glory. And this is Gloria Goldberg, the founder and the creator of this beautiful podcast, where I always talk about depression, anxiety, and PTSD in a holistic way, a natural way, to always make you feel better. And that is the only thing I want from you, that for you to feel better. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, but I do this mission with a lot of love and passion, because I know how it feels, and I want you to feel better. See you then. I love you so much, and see you next week. Bye bye. Also, before I go, you can find me on Instagram at Gloria Goldberg 1111. I post every day stories about my life, things I do. I love to dance, and sometimes I get crazy and creator. So Gloria Goldberg, Gloria Gold 1111. See you soon.